Welcome back to another episode of Footballin with Ben Roethlisberger. My name is Spence, and as always, I am joined here with two-time Super Bowl champion Ben Roethlisberger.
What up?
What up? How we doing?
Also been in the basement. Good.
I know.
Look at this. The show just started, and we already have a special guest.
Yes.
Come on, yeah, bring it down here. You just set him right here, if you want, because he won't.
There he is.
Eat him. He's too hot. There he is.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna cut to wide, but cutting to wide is gonna reveal our guest.
Oh, we also have a guest.
Drum roll.
Charlie Batch.
Hey,
I'm
back. And we back.
No, that's how we had to do it. We're starting a new season.
Yes.
Probably maybe our last. And we thought we'd just have a party, a reunion of such.
That's what's up.
We're sitting here in the basement. It's 8:40 on Thursday. The NFL opener is on. We're watching the Lions and the Chiefs. Almost the end of the first, 0-0. A huge fake punt backed up, which we were both like, whoa.
Right.
They went for it. Detroit's driving now. So you'll hear us, obviously, as you guys know that watch the show. We'll comment on it, talk about it. We'll talk some NFL. Breaking news with Joe Burrow. We'll talk about that, which by the time everyone sees this, they'll know the news. But we'll talk Steeler football a little bit. We'll talk Steeler preseason. We'll talk Steeler regular season coming up this week, obviously, with the Niners coming to town. And we're just going to have fun. We're enjoying some food. We're going to talk about a special...
Oh, the cookbook's here.
The cookbook is here.
The cookbook is here. This is it.
I'm so excited. The cookbook is sweet, by the way.
Yes. Well, don't. I'm not gonna give too much. I don't want to give too much away there.
But do people know that we did how we did it? Like how there's like or is that giving too much away? Like every week?
No. I figure we can explain. You want to do that now?
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So we got this cookbook. So
you want jalapeno?
This is wild. The cookbook here.
Let me try it. We'll try one. This is live on the show.
But you're not a spicy guy.
But I guess I could just get redder than what I already am.
I grabbed the stem. I didn't touch the rest. I'll get you a napkin. Hold on.
Let's see what we got here.
I got
jalapeno live.
It's not that bad. Trust me. We're from the garden. It's all fresh.
How is it?
It's not bad.
Is it spicy?
No, not as spicy as what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It's pretty daggone good.
Jammin did talk it up.
No, this is solid. That's why I wondered if he left the seed in there to make it a little bit more hotter.
Okay, sorry. Talk about the cookbook.
Yeah, the cookbook. So we did a cookbook. Those of you guys who are familiar with the show know that Chef Evan not only prepared all this, but typically when we have a guest on, he makes some tailgate appetizers that coincide with the guest, kind of influenced by the guest's story, maybe journey to the league. And so Chef Evan compiled a book of recipes that follow the 2023-2024 Steelers season. Here we go. And so every week there are 3 tailgate recipes that coincide with the team that they're playing. So by the time you guys are watching, this will be available. You can pick this up. I will say that there are only a couple hundred of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they're gone, they're gone.
And I'm going to, by the way, touchdown Lions. That was a good drive.
Oh. Yes, it was.
That was a big drive.
They needed to do something, especially when they faked that punt for sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to sign a bunch of them, too.
Ooh,
so that'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
Chuck, we're going to give you one to take home.
Do I get the
first one?
Yeah, I was about to say, do I get the first official signed book?
I mean, I wasn't going to sign it for you, but I wasn't going to.
Come on, it has to be official. If you're going to make it official, that has to be it. So that people know he's actually signing them, so they know what page you're signing it on and make sure it's official.
Get your cookbooks, because there's some good stuff in there.
Yes. Do you have a favorite recipe?
In there?
Yeah. You remember? Because we did all.
The book.
Yeah. Everything was awesome. There is a glazed donut grilled cheese sandwich. That sounds disgusting.
That one, yeah.
It is phenomenal.
Okay.
It is amazing.
So every recipe in here, you all have tried both of them? Every single one, or no?
I tried that one. You might have.
I ate that one. Yeah. So I didn't eat every one of them. We did it. We haven't cooked everything. We shot it here, and when we were done photographing, we snacked. So I tried a handful of the recipes in there. Some of the other stuff I have had just when he would make it periodically. Like there's some recipes. He has a crab cake in there that's phenomenal that he's made a couple times. So I've had that, but I didn't eat it when we were doing this. So, but every single one of them is amazing. So I would encourage you to check it out.
Hopefully y'all will talk about how to get that, but
yes,
go get your cookbook because I promise you're gonna like that stuff.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description of this video that you guys can go check and check out the merch while you're there.
Yeah.
See if you want a little shirt.
Anyway, thank you last week. Okay, see that one was a little bit warmer, and I like hot. Every once in a while.
This one was spicy, but I didn't want to make a face because you said it wasn't spicy.
No, the one that I had.
Yeah, the one I had before wasn't hot either.
Okay.
That one was a little warm.
All right. Okay.
But hopefully you don't get one of those.
Making sure, please. So whatever direction that, hopefully he comes down and says you want to know what everything to the right is not is only lukewarm and everything to the left is hot.
That one was hot. That one's I'm burning up.
That was to the right side.
I'm a little warm right now.
No, I'm saying it was on the right side. Okay,
no way to tell.
Okay, all right, no way to tell.
I don't think because we just picked them from the garden today, so they're all fresh.
Well, I'll stick with I guess what I had. Mine was not that.
Yeah, the one I had before wasn't hot either.
Whew.
Got choked up over there. See, that would be me if I picked the wrong one.
I'm just getting emotional about the cookbook.
The cookbook means a lot to us.
We got it done.
No, but we're back. Thanks again to Brewdog, everybody there.
Yeah, man, that was awesome.
Great episode. Spence, congratulations.
Thank you.
You don't know for what though, do you?
Yeah,
I was just ready to celebrate.
We now have 70,000 subscribers.
70,000
around the world.
Nice.
70,000 million.
70,000, yeah, million.
70,000 million.
Yeah.
And to think that I was on episode 9.
Yes.
And to see where you all are at.
Look at us.
I'm so glad that I helped get your followers up.
You did.
Man.
Yeah,
listen, the show is nothing without you, Charlie.
There was.
There's nothing without you.
And just so you know, James Harrison, next time you come on, we are having Charlie's having a wine, so we are allowing a little bit of wine tonight.
Yeah. See, we're broadening our horizons.
Appreciate you, Debo.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so we're just going to, have fun. This is going to be so laid back and relaxed. Especially when we just... There's always silence, Chuck, and don't. It's okay. I know when you're on the TV. When you guys are on the TV, like if you're doing it with Bob, you only do it with Bob, right?
Right.
Else. What happens? Like, I was curious. What's the silence that's too long? Like is it too? I know it'll probably seem like an eternity, but like is like 2 seconds too long?
Essentially, because you're anticipating kind of what the producers in your ears talking about, especially at the beginning of the game. And they have so many, signs that they're going to put up and they say, hey, you want to know what? After the kickoff, go to the starting lineup. And then all of a sudden there's a pause and I'm like, I don't know, when do I start talking? Do I not? When is Bob going to chime in? So you're kind of learning some of those things. But I'll probably say maybe 3-4 seconds.
Yeah, and that's got to seem like an eternity.
Oh, absolutely.
I always thought about it too, because if a producer's in your ear, you have to hear him even while you're talking, right? So it's like you got to multitask in a way, right?
You do.
Like someone's talking.
Because there's times that Bob or the producer would talk to Bob while I'm speaking.
And you got to...
And I have to talk through the producer talking in your ear.
So do you ever turn your headset off like a quarterback when a quarterback's calling?
I don't have it.
I got nothing. I'm going to wing this one. We would never do that. We would never do that at all. Trust me.
You don't hear me? You didn't hear me, Charlie?
Yeah. Charlie, what's
think
Ben doing? I don't know. He got you, Coach.
I don't think Ben heard that one, Coach. I didn't. It was muffled in my ear.
So we're watching this Chiefs game, and obviously I can answer, but I'd like to hear your perspective first, Chuck. Is Matt Nagy? He's new there, right?
Yes.
He took the enemy spot.
Yes. He was the quarterback coach last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, there. So he's been there. Mm-hmm. Like we all know Andy's calling the plays. I think, I guess. But how big of a deal is Kelsey not being out there?
It's a huge deal. He tees up the middle of the field, and you have that hybrid tight end like that. I mean, now you don't have anybody to control or worry about from that perspective.
It's his security blanket, too. Like, how many times Patrick he's unbelievable. How many times has he kind of thrown it up, and Kelsey's going to come?
Right.
I mean, it's something else now.
It's like that. It's that nonverbal that you have. You don't draw it up. You just know. I just see something. And that's essentially, what Mahomes and Kelsey has is exactly what you and Heath had. You just look back, look at him, you know where he's at. He knows when to break away.
That's true.
When you come back to him. And that's that security blanket you talked about. Good old Earl. I know you're listening to the show, buddy.
Yeah, Earl,
what's going on down there in VA?
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize it's been 18 years since you graciously allowed me the opportunity to start in this game?
Really?
Yeah, 2006. That was it. Ben said, you want to know what? I don't want to play this game, Chuck. You got this. Said, you want to appreciate you, brother.
That's been that long, right?
That's crazy. That was Madden. It was Al Michaels and John Madden. They did that game.
I was thinking, as we're talking, I mean, I don't want to jump into Steelers yet, but I was thinking, you know, the news came out that Bosa's going to play, right, because he did this deal. And so Bosa, being a stud, obviously, I was like, I wanted to text Sully, Coach Sully, be like, I'm sorry, Coach, you know, just kind of one of those things. But I know his response was like, no, we're good. We're going to get, you know, we won them all. And it made me think, like, we won them all. No, you really don't.
No,
I mean,
you don't.
No problem, big fella.
Listen, as a player, you want to beat them at their full strength. There's no doubt about it. There's always something about, you know, you don't want to, oh, so-and-so wasn't out there. So-and-so wasn't out. Ooh, he could have took one hard. You know, so-and-so, we want to beat them at full strength. But at some point, like every player, at least quarterbacks, I guess, on that, Friday, hey, let me check the injury report.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're telling me Suggs has an ankle? He's probably not going to make it? Oh, man. Or, you know, Miles Garrett's not going to play. Oh, man. You know what? Can we push the game back a week? I think we want to play with him. Like, I get it, but everybody's still like, you're always. So there's no way that Kenny Pickett is like overly excited about what's going on. I mean, they're going to say the right thing, but deep down inside, you're like, I was kind of hoping.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of hoping.
And it changed the game plan because you go in there and obviously you need to know where he's at. You're going to need.
Absolutely.
You have to protect him at some point, whether that's a body presence with a tight end, chipping going out. You have to be aware exactly where he is all the time.
Does he go to one side or does he go everywhere? I don't remember where he likes to go.
I'm not sure. I would imagine at least on the left, so that'll be Dan Moore. It'll be a little challenge for him.
Which I think would be good for Dan. This would be a good challenge. This would be a huge challenge for Dan. And I think he's excited about it.
And he's had a great camp, too. He really had. Yes, he has.
Go back. You heard it here first, people around the world. I said, probably before they drafted.
Roger Jones?
Yeah. Probably before they drafted him, or maybe right when they asked.
Said it earlier.
I was like, no, Dan Moore is a dude. Dan Moore is a guy that I loved as a quarterback because he cared. He was good. I mean, obviously he's very good. I think he felt like he maybe got just whatever it was. He had good motivation. And I was like, he's going to be a good player. Like, he's going to be a really good left tackle in this league. They go and draft a guy, and I'm like, come on, man. Don't sleep on this guy yet.
Right.
And he hasn't given an inch. Like, and you've watched more of the preseason than I have and more practices and camp. I mean, the door's not even cracked right now, is it?
No, it's not.
I mean, other than that one next to the draft where we're going to draft in first round. But I don't think that he's even like. I don't think that Dan is even like. It's not even a conversation, in my opinion. And I don't think. I mean, again, that one makes him always a conversation. But what's it going to take for him to get on the field? A one bad game? Two?
It's just going to have to be two. But I think when you look at where it's at, it didn't surprise me at all. So the only reason if Dan is not starting in week one is because the business of the NFL has taken over. That's it. And there's not much that you actually control. I mean, this is something that when you look where Dan is at, it lit a fire underneath him. This is a guy came out of Texas A&M, didn't really get much of a chance, but he earned that job last year and played well. And here he is now building on what he did last year. But, of course, when you have a first rounder at that particular point, the business of the NFL is going to happen at some point. It's just a matter, for him, you just hope it doesn't happen this year. But the way that he went out in the camp and literally opened up that hole for Jaylen Warren, that right there solidified. You're like, there hasn't been a lot of big runs that have happened in a long time on his team. And ultimately, when you run behind him, it's hard to give up that job, or make a move in that particular perspective. Kudos to Dan, man. Great job at this camp.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him, so proud of him. I hope that's why I'm hoping that he gets that challenge, and I know he'll step up to it. Now, listen, Bosa's one of the best, but it'll be a good challenge for him.
And you just look and you say, okay, you make a move at the tackle position, but again, you ship one guy out of here. So, which was it really Dan or was it? the guy who shipped out of here. You know, when you look at, I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way, but with Dotson not being here, they make a move to bring a veteran guy in here, but then ultimately trade one away. So, you know, was Dan Moore kind of guilty by association, you know, in that particular perspective for them to now go out and get a tackle? Who knows? But either way, he made the most of it.
Well, I'll tell you what's going to be interesting is what's going to happen moving forward. Because you said it best. The business of the NFL, there's no way, say Dan Moore goes out and balls out, plays well. There's no way they sit that #1 pick next year. There's no way, Chuck. You know it.
Correct.
No way. Now, does that mean that Dan has to go to right? I don't know how I don't know who can play right. Does that mean that Chooks is out? And then one of them goes over?
Right.
Does that mean that Dan, it's like, oh, sorry, Dan, we're going to have to let you. I mean, how do you let a guy? It's obviously we have a long ways to get to that.
Right.
But it could be, you know, I said it here, we said it here first again. Be prepared in 18, 19 weeks. If Dan Moore's playing at a high level, let's see what they do.
And outside of injuries, that's one thing. But to get to that point, I don't see how they move Dan. I just don't. I just don't. But now the question is going to be, Dan won't have to answer that question. The coaches and then Broderick will have to answer the question of why you ain't playing. And that's going to be the toughest part, because even though the offense hopefully is potentially rolling in that particular aspect, it's just unfortunate that question will continue to be asked. Yeah,
it will. I feel like that watching the offense, I know we're getting the Steelers awful early, but it's all right.
Hey, man.
I tell you, Patrick Mahomes, when he runs.
Let it ride.
How is everybody in red holding their breath? Every single person. I mean, he's sneaky elusive. I mean, he can run really well, but they still have to be a little.
No, they're always nervous.
I mean,
no, there's no question about it.
Coach Tom always say, "Hey Ben, stop with that John Wayne stuff." You know, I think about the Steeler offense. I think it looks really good. I really do. And now I know it's preseason. It's been. I think their body of work has been very. I'd love to get your perspective on this. I was going to finish my statement. I think their body of work has been very short this preseason. The first group, I was surprised a little bit that they didn't get more work in. Just my opinion. I feel like here come all the Andy Reid trick plays. Hey, how many cheap touchdowns does Patrick Mahomes get? By the way, hey there, my dad. You going to come on the show?
What's up, Pops? No? Come on down here.
What did you get? You got a jalapeno and the steak? The jalapenos are good, aren't they? Did you get a hot one or a not hot one? Because we had one that wasn't hot. Okay, we had one that wasn't hot, and then we had one that was very hot.
Are those the jalapenos from your garden?
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the ones that you gave me? Yeah. I bit into one. I was overly confident. Paid that price quick. It was hot, man.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for jalapenos. Hey, sweetie.
How are you?
Everybody's here. Hey,
come on in the show. Come on down here.
The whole family's
off camera. You might as well just.
There's my girl. Where's this Bailey at? Where you at?
Bay.
Bodie's not here.
Where are you?
Where's Bo? Oh, Chuck's getting her hug. Where's Bodie? Oh, he's here. He's just not down here.
Yeah. What if Bodie's the only one not at the house?
Yeah, I was like, oh, where did Bodie go? Easy, Chuck. No one can hear that anyway.
You guys can't see this. It's off camera. Charlie just went
Chuck's
over there.
Hugging everybody.
Hugged the whole family. He's running for mayor.
He's petting the dogs. He's hugging the family. Feeding the fish. I was saying, Patrick is. I didn't even see it, but he had a little cheap touchdown. He has more. He gets more. That one's not. That's legit. He gets more cheap touchdowns. The little flips, the little shovels, the little like the fun stuff.
But would you prefer that over?
I mean, yeah, he'll take them all the time. Listen, Chuck and I used to laugh. If we were rolling out, say we do a little bootleg on the goal line, and you're rolling out and you fake everybody out, and you have like a tight end, a running back, a receiver, so it's just you two. Mm-hmm. No one else around. You can walk in, or you can throw the ball to him. What are you doing, Chuck?
Throwing it.
Every day. Every day. All day.
Throwing it. Affects your passer rating. Early on in your career, you're like, yeah, I'm running it in. Everybody looking at you like, come on, man, throw the ball.
Throw the ball to him.
Okay.
But no, we were talking about the offense and looking good. I think that's where we were, right? And I think my point was I was saying lack of reps in the preseason. Yep. I thought. I mean, obviously, as a coach, when they go in and do what they did, where it's like score, it's hard to keep him out there.
Right.
But I thought what was interesting is Coach Tomlin always talks about situational football. I mean, how many times do we hear him talk about situational football? Well, what situations did? Now, I'll say this too. I didn't watch the Atlanta game. Then that's that game. I think it was it's 2 series. I don't know what happened.
Right.
I mean, I know what happened, but I don't know the situations. But I didn't see a lot of situational football from the team. I didn't see a 3rd and short. I didn't see a goal line, maybe a backed up. Some stuff that typically Mike preaches and harps on.
Right.
Now, I get the Buffalo game where typically that's the game where you won a lot, where they just went down the field. But, I mean, I think we talked about on here, Warren breaks a long one. And then they had maybe 10 plays or whatever. Warren breaks a long one. Then they get a big punt return, hit Pat the very next play. And it's now, you and I would normally be like, done. That's great work. That's a great day. But, like, it just, to me, I felt like, man, I thought you'd want to see a little bit more. Without seeing that big body of work, I've been very impressed with what I've seen. It reminds me a lot of when we had some really talented guys on offense. Like Kenny's got some really talented guys.
I agree.
The receivers when we had like Emmanuel and Mike Wallace and AB and I don't want to leave anybody out. Heath was at tight end and I think I don't think we had Le'Veon at that time. Maybe Richard or whatever. But like we had some really good skill guys. Mm-hmm. It reminds me a lot of what we had when we were really grooving. And so I think like Kenny's got the receivers, the tight end, the running backs. I don't really. I think it's going to come down to how Kenny plays, in my opinion, because I think as a second-year guy, first-year guy you can surprise a lot of people. Second-year coordinators now are going to be a little more. They kind of understand. They see stuff. I think between him and Coach Canada, how's Coach calling the game? How's Kenny playing? I think Kenny and the offense are getting more used to Matt. I think Matt's getting more used to the offense. Like those guys too. Like I think he's calling pretty good games. Like, guys been all over him in the past, the media, but I think he's so far done pretty well by understanding guys. Now the line's playing really well. So I'd love to just get your take. I just think the offense right now really is going to go as far as Kenny and Matt go, in my opinion, outside of injuries and all that. But to me, those are the 2 biggest things.
And I think when I look at it, I compare it, you take it to 2010-ish, right around there when you had your young receivers in there. I always take it, the comparison, I take it back to your second season as we were going from 04 to 5. We had a lot of young talent on the offensive side. Yes, we had Jerome that was there, but nobody knew about Willie Parker at that particular point. And it wasn't until I think even that preseason, I think Deuce was injured, Jerome got injured. That allowed Willie to even get to that point of starting. But ultimately up front, we had the offensive line was there, but you had a lot of young talent on the outside.
Right. Holmes, right?
That was 05.
Right, my fault.
So when you look at where that was at, and I think that's something that you still had Randall Well, who was still kind of really converting, from that receiver and coming into his own. And I think that was something that you start to see on this team. You can see the splashes, the talent that's potentially there, but ultimately, how are they all going to gel? Mm-hmm. You do have a nice 1-2 tandem in the backfield there, but ultimately, what is going to happen as it relates to Canada? But to your point, it's all about what Kenny does in that particular perspective. And if they can get it going, I like where they're at. Because defensively, they're solid. Yep. They're solid on that side of the ball.
Really good.
And it's just a matter of playing that ball control. And everybody gets excited about what the potential is in the passing game, but I don't see that necessarily going that route.
That's what I was going to ask. Where do you think they go? Do you think they're going to pass heavy or run heavy?
I think they're starting to run. I think they're set up to the point where they solidified that offensive line, and they're really going to try to create the identity by starting with the run. And if they can do that, then I think that's where you're going to start to see Freiermuth get involved on that play action game because they can get it going.
I would like to see Pat more involved. Mm-hmm. I didn't like last year. I thought Pat got involved like late in games when it was like when crunch time happened. You got him the ball. Like I'd like to see him get involved early. Maybe some, nakeds, some over the middle type stuff. Like get him involved early on. I think that'd be. I'd like to see that because he's one of your best players.
And if I'm Freiermuth at this point, selfishly, I'm making sure that I'm around Kenny, having those conversations because he's in a contract year. Motivated to get to that particular point. You see these numbers that are going on. You're like, oh, buddy.
Yeah, right.
So I can see him being a lot more motivated this year. Not to say he wasn't in the past, but anytime you get to that contract year, you're like, hey, this is it. I got the opportunity to capitalize off of it.
I always wonder, like, I think about, like, last year. I know Deontay signed his deal going into last year, right?
Yeah,
like
going in training camp.
Or whatever. Like, I always think about guys like that when you've got a a young quarterback. Now Kenny's playing great. This is not a knock on Kenny by any means, but like when you got a young quarterback and you've got like a team, like you say, that's probably focusing on running a little bit more, setting up the pass. If you're a tight end about to come into contract, if you're a wide receiver, like Deontay, think about it when I was with him, like he was putting up huge numbers, and it's because we were throwing it, and we were, he had a veteran quarterback, and when last year was Kenny's first year, obviously there was a new quarterback, a new feel, a new process, and him and George, obviously we can talk about George later, but they didn't quite gel as well last year. I mean, Deontay, no touchdowns last year, right?
Right, none. Yeah.
I mean, that's unheard of for a guy with his abilities and his skill level. But the point of what I'm saying is, as a guy that's like about to go into a contract as a skill guy, and you know that you got a young quarterback and a coordinator and an offense maybe that's going to be a little more conservative, at some point you kind of have to be like, come on now, what are we going to do? Like, let's go a little bit. I mean, I don't. It's just interesting to think about.
No, I mean, it's that those are real conversations that you have because you sit back and you're like, okay, yes, you get the numbers that you wanted, at least from a contract perspective. But when you're not putting up those numbers, everybody talks about, okay, did he now, take a step back in that particular manner without really putting everything into perspective? And that's the unfortunate part because Deontay, he's worked just as hard as he did any other year. It's just the fact the opportunities weren't available down the field in the manner of that way. Yeah. But you also, if you're Deontay, you're saying to yourself, well, I didn't have opportunity to work with my guy because he wasn't supposed to be a projected starter.
Which why I think, sorry.
Yep.
There you go.
But that's where, but ultimately that's where, when you're spending all off season, preparing and trying to catch passes from Mitch, and then that change happens at week 3. Now you're trying to play catch up, but there's not a lot of practice time for you to be able to do that. And I think that's where it started slow, and then he started to pick that up in the second half once Kenny got comfortable.
Which is why I think I thought Kenny and George had such a cohesion because they were together during training camp, right? When you're going 2s and 3s,
correct.
They're out there together.
Yep. You go with what you're comfortable with. You look back, I understand what I have here, but I know where my guy is going to be because I've thrown more passes to him.
What do you think about George?
I think he's solid.
Like real deal,
he is scratching the surface. No. The things that he does in practice, he was just like shaking your head, like, wow. Everybody was, last year during that Cleveland game when he caught that one-handed catch. But if you watch it all training camp, you're like, oh, he's been doing that.
Okay.
He's been doing that all day.
Okay, whatever.
And it's similar to that catch, that kind of went viral when Pickens caught it over Joey Porter Jr. That one-handed catch.
Yeah.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I hate to be a little peasy on the other side. But as soon as he caught it and Joey walked to the sideline, I said, yeah, that's on Twitter already. It happened about 30 seconds ago. But everybody in the stands right now is watching that play and have it on video. And sure enough, that play was on within 2 minutes. It was already on social media. Is it Twitter or is it X? What are we calling it? I don't even know. So I'll just say social media.
Yeah. George's driving here. Golf's looking pretty good.
He's that piece of the game, the point of the game when they retire second quarter where it starts to kind of pick up a little bit after you get a feel, hopefully get a feel for what these sides.
You ride that initial wave, right?
Right.
Detroit's like you're thinking, because so Kansas City's dropping the banner, fireworks, probably musical guests, all kinds of stuff. And you're going into Detroit like, well, let's just try and let's just see what happens.
That's it.
Let's go have fun, guys.
Yeah, and then you get, like Chuck said, you get to this point, and now it's like, okay, now it's turning into like a game now.
Once you get your first 15 plays, you're like, okay, we've seen it all. Then we talked about it, and then
he wanted to throw it too. He wanted to do something.
Yes, he did. That's why you get those 15 plays and try to get shifts and motions and formations, see if you can get a key on what they're going to do defensively.
Did you eat the steak, Chuck?
I didn't. How was it? Solid.
It's really good. You like them?
Go for it.
No, so do you like it?
Oh, yeah, red meat. Of course.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I gotta get that queso cheese up here too.
We got queso. I don't know if you guys can tell.
I thought you were starting one. I knew you'd go.
It's too far away.
Solid.
Help! I don't know if you guys can accurately see the amount of food that's here. That's a whole nacho tray.
See me keep eating. Oh yeah, are we gonna do a beer?
Yeah, let's do a beer. We got some sent in here. I think this is. Oh, speaking of the wine that you gave Debo, Dave from who sent this beer in, he said, "I'm not a huge beer drinker. I would rather have a Camus like Debo."
Of course.
Who wouldn't? It's a great wine. He said, "But this is my go-to boating beverage." Since boating, and there's pictures of him drinking it on a boat.
No.
That's
Okay.
that's very true. I'll pass this. I mean, look at that. Matches the can.
Chuck, you still got your boat?
I do.
Oh, wow.
This would be perfect for it,
Thank you, son.
according to Dave.
Oh, we do.
Oh, good north. Oh, he found one of
Oh,
You can't do that.
Gave it up.
Snapped it over his head and then gave it up. You just can't do it. That's 3 points.
Yes, it is.
Man. All right, so what do we have here?
All right, so this is a beer called Schoffenhofer. It's a Hefeweizen beer. It's grapefruit, so you're gonna hate it. No, you've been liking it.
I hate grapefruit. It's not my favorite fruit.
Pardon me.
Grapefruit?
No, so
I
that's
feel like
what
you
I was
like
you
saying.
might
grapefruit.
hate it.
I feel like grapefruit's like an old person fruit, so I figured it'd be good. Like you would like that. Like I feel like in the morning, Chuck, you probably get up and you cut a grapefruit in half, and you and Tosh split it. Like you guys cut it and maybe sprinkle a little sugar on it or something.
Yeah, you have to put the sugar on. You have to put the sugar on. Yeah, we're reading the newspaper. I still read the newspaper, versus checking on reading it online.
Yeah, I just figured you get your paper out, put your house shoes on. I just envision Chuck you doing that.
I've trained my dog to go out and actually get the paper. bring
Your
it
dog
back.
couldn't pick up the paper.
I agree. Not at all. All right, so we're going grapefruit.
Grapefruit, Hefeweizen. It's sent in by Dave Dill.
Really nice.
He said it's his cousin Joe Carpenter from Evansburg. Turned me on to the Footballin podcast and is now a staple in my workouts. I introduced Joe to this beer, and we agree we should send it to you. And he now lives in my old stomping grounds in Southwest Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, Dave, thank you so much for this one. See what we got here.
It almost tastes like a seltzer. Like it's
It's
very.
not, it doesn't. You don't see it taste. Doesn't taste grapefruity, but I mean, I could do that.
Seltzer.
Not bad. Yeah.
I mean,
I guess the real test is
well, it's a Hefeweizen.
drinking it on a boat, because this is his
Absolutely,
boating.
you can drink this on a boat.
Yeah. Because he's not a beer guy, but when he gets to the boat, he's breaking out
That's it.
these.
Yeah. German quality.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very light, very mild, very refreshing.
Yeah. This
This is a pool. I don't want a lot because it has a little bit of.
I feel like you drink a lot of those.
You like that better than your wine?
No.
We just
Not at all.
that probably just ruined your wine experience drinking that.
Wine all day.
I feel like it has a lot of sugar in it. I feel like you're gonna wake up with a headache.
Really?
It doesn't taste sweet to you?
No, not overly. I mean, a little bit, but not
It's not the first thing I've been wrong about.
like Chuck putting his sugar on his grapefruit in the morning like that.
Maybe that's what it is.
That's tomorrow morning. You're going to wake up. And you got to grab a grapefruit and put sugar on it.
Cut it in half and get your little spoon out.
Yeah, I mean it's good. Don't get me wrong. That's on a boat. I'm sure it's way better.
Yeah, I could drink. I'm not going to drink a bunch of them. But I could drink.
Yeah,
A few.
it does feel like a seltzer or
Yeah.
very light.
Chuck, you want another one of these jalapenos? Or you good?
No, I'm good right now.
You're not going to play Russian roulette?
No, I'm not. I wouldn't mind it, but if you're
Know your limits,
if
Master
you're bringing
Wayne.
the queso up, I'll go with the queso.
I know. That's
Oh,
what
I'll
I'm trying
grab
to
that.
figure out how to get the queso up here.
I'll grab that. We'll get some straws.
Some straws drinking. Well, but are you worried about where you gonna put it in front of? You gonna put it in front of me?
Do you want me to put it?
Oh, that's the kid from Detroit, right? The end right there. Second year guy. Michigan, right?
Michigan,
Hutchinson?
yeah, Michigan.
Hey, let me go
Good
grab
player.
that queso.
Wow, what are you gonna? You know what you can do? I need to
gonna put it
get
here?
plates.
Or do you want to just
Paper
get?
plate.
Yeah, you just want
He's not
to.
gonna throw that, is he?
My
You
man.
just never know what he's going to do. It's amazing at this. I think quarterbacks and players go through. Excuse me if you heard that, everybody. Oh, I apologize. I think you go through bouts. Bouts is probably not the right word. You go through spurts of like playing with confidence, like where it's like literally, I'm like, what were you thinking?
You would have ran dude over and dove.
Probably.
That would have been you, yeah. Early on in your career, that would have been you. There's no doubt about that.
No, I feel like
And extend the ball like you always do, try to get the extra yard. Yeah, that's
keep your knee
what
off
you
the
do.
ground.
Right.
That's what I do. Chuck, I got a 40-yard in the NFL. You were there.
You do. There's some things that
I showed some burst early in my career.
You did.
I had burst. I had to run it. No, but I feel like guys play with confidence sometimes, right? So, like, you might make a throw, and coach will be like, what was he doing? But, like, you feel like you can make every throw. Right? Like, it's just like you can. I feel like Patrick Mahomes.
You make it, it's like a great throw, and then when you don't, like, what was he thinking?
Yeah, but I'm going to throw it in triple coverage because I feel like I can do it.
Right.
I feel like Patrick's been playing with confidence like that for, like, 8 years, however long he's been. Like, it literally, like, he's thrown a couple balls tonight, and I'm like, he has no reason to throw that. But yet he just can. He can just do it, and it's unbelievable.
You see it, you can get it into that window. That's what it is.
He's really good like that. All right.
Okay, so Andy Reid in those State Farm commercials.
I love Andy Reid. He's hilarious. Andy Reid is hilarious.
It seems like because Patrick Mahomes was there first, he just piggybacked his way into the commercial. But he is way funnier in those commercials than Patrick is.
He's hilarious.
You know, it's a side conversation. Like, hey, you gotta get me in.
You got a spot.
That's how I actually talked my way into actually being in part of a series back in 2009. Whenever some dude named Shaquille O'Neal, decided he was going to do a show and he was going to do this Shaq versus, and he came in and he wanted to compete against Ben. So Ben's like, he comes to me and he's like, "Hey Chuck, I'm about to do this commercial. I'm about to do this series against Shaq. Hey, I want you to be on my team. This is kind of it." So then I look at the script and I'm like, "Ben, you do realize I only had the press conference and then I'm out of the daggone show." So then I look over and I whisper to Shaq. I say, "Hey, there's a lot more opportunity on your side that I could be part of the show." So I do the press conference on his side, and then they cut, and then I jump on and become the quarterback coach for Shaq. And he looks up, he's like, "Oh, Chuck, what are you doing?"
What are we doing?
I say, "Hey, man, you're my guy. I just need more airtime, man. This is a national show."
Teach him all the secrets.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. There's nobody on this planet besides Charlie Batch and John Norwig that know how to get more airtime by standing
no
next
doubt,
to
no
the starting
doubt.
quarterback. There were so many times that I would be running out of a tunnel at halftime game, and I'm looking, and John Norwig's running right beside me. I'm like, "Wig, what are you doing?" He's like, let's go. And I'm like, "Wig, knock it off." I mean, not just once, like many times. And then there'd be times during a TV timeout. Okay, yeah, you got a timeout. So we go to the sideline, and I'd be standing there like talking about stuff, and I'd be like, and Chuck would kind of be like sometimes, usually he'd be kind of right here so we could talk, and then every once in a while he'd be right here, and I'd be like, "Look, here goes Patrick Mahomes chucking it up. Look, see him."
That was dangerous.
Yeah, see, but that's what I'm saying though. Mm-hmm. He just, I'm gonna throw it. And I would look, and I'd be like, "Chuck, what are you? Why are you back there, Chuck?" And then he would look this way, and I'd look, and the camera would be right. He knew the
got to be right there. I'm looking at the camera on the waiter coming up. Obviously this is before the sky cams, right? So sky, you can see him walking up. I'm like, I got to be on this side. They getting ready to come out. They getting ready to come out the TV timeout on this. I got to show him my waves at that point. You know what I mean? You got to hit him with that. Yeah. You got to be right there. Then it shifted to the sky cam, so you can kind of see it zooming in. And I'm like, let me see where you're going to lay out. Okay, I got to be right there.
Chuck was the best. Chuck was a great teammate because he'd hit you with a "Hey, camera there," so that you would say or do something. And I used to think that he was doing it to protect me. He did it because he wanted to know where the camera was so he could get on.
It was a combination of both. You sit back, and Ben really wanted to say something. He really wanted to be like, "Man, this is how come." I'm like, "Hey, Mike's over top of us. Mike's over top. We can't say what you truly want to say because we don't know. We're not controlling the mic over top. Because when they're there, you only see the kind of the cameras, but you never see the people over top." By the benches, they have that boom mic with the extended mic, and they're eavesdropping on your conversation. And he's just talking. I'm like, "Hey, just let you know, hey, mic over top, right shoulder."
Always looking out.
Always telling Chuck to look out.
Look, they got parabolics now, man. They don't even need that. They catch you from across the field.
Absolutely.
I'm going to get a plate.
That's wild. That's hilarious. What's that?
I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Footballin with Ben Roethlisberger. Brought to you by Charlie Batch.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's the Batch Foundation. Plug. You guys did a back to school event, didn't you? Giving out backpacks?
Yeah, just we were preparing over 3,000 book bags filled with school supplies along with teachers' bags.
Oh,
so we were able to distribute over 3,000 bags this year. So excited about that. Apologize for chewing in the mic. And then teamed up with PepsiCo, so they came over.
Yeah, man.
So we did my school district, Barrett Elementary, shout out.
Yeah.
Where I went to school, and actually TJ Watt came down and surprised the students. So they were super excited about that.
Saying, what was that like?
They come in, they're just like, and they're looking, they're just like, that looks like TJ.
Like that's a large human over there.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, that is. They're like, it really is? Are you serious?
That's awesome, dude.
So just to get that reaction and just the interaction between all of them, man, it was pretty cool. And shout out to his wife Danny, she was there too.
Nice,
so
man.
Had an opportunity to spend some time with them. Great, they are both great. So it was
That's
cool.
Awesome,
we
dude.
appreciate them believing and supporting everything that we're doing with the Best of the Bats Foundation.
Yeah, man. When he was on here, he was looking for ways to get involved in the community more. I mean, he laid that out on the show, and so the fact that he was able to connect with you and make that happen was awesome. Is that the first time that he's been on location with you guys, like hanging out?
Yeah, first time. So he did participate in our annual fundraiser his second year, which is our pool, poker, ping pong event that we have.
Nice.
So he was
that I'm coming to.
Yes. Yep. That'll be this year's November 9th. Okay. So we're doing that again, and but he participated in that, and then ultimately. He has his own paddle. That's when you know. It was funny. It was funny because the one year he coming in and play, and all of a sudden I'm just sitting back and I'm like, "What's going on?" It's him and Franco.
Yeah, I was just about to tell the same story.
They played all night. We're cleaning up, and they literally had to leave one ping pong table. Because him and Franco's back there playing. Like, the event's over at 10. It's about midnight right now.
I believe that.
And they're still playing. We're like, it's time to clean up. And all we hear, who was playing?
That was the story I was about to tell, too.
Like, I'm not kicking him off.
I'm not saying anything.
That was one of my greatest Franco moments. I mean, just because I think he was surprised. This is when I was younger. I think he was surprised that I was good. I was surprised he was good. And we just battled all night. And it was fun, though, because we were just like whatever, having fun and playing all night. But I'll never forget that time with Franco, just having fun, like that smile, that laugh. Like I was about to tell the same story.
Both of them back there. We're like, everybody back. Where they? You just looking at the bag. All you tink, going back and forth. I'm like, this is crazy. I think Trey Essex tried to jump in, and he was like, "Nah, you're not good enough. You gonna sit this one out, brother."
Sorry, Trey. We love you.
But that was awesome, man. But we're bringing that back November 9th. So anybody wants to know more learn more information about it, you can go to batchfoundation.org, and you'll be able to see all the information that's available. But it's a fun event. We actually take the ties off, compete, have fun,
man,
and those type of things. But it was pretty cool because I told TJ about it. They say he wants to be a part of it again. And then ultimately he was like, no, I want to. He's like, how close are we from your foundation office? And we're literally like 4 blocks from it. And he was like, no. He was like, I got time. Let's go out there. I want to take a tour of it. And he walked through it. Him and Danny walked through. I was like, wow. And just to kind of see the reaction, because you see it, pictures of it, but then to walk through it and kind of see everything that we have in it is pretty cool. So working get on Ben's schedule to get him over, come take a tour.
Well done.
Get him out there and check it out a little bit.
That's
That'd be pretty
huge,
cool.
Man.
So
that's awesome. I'll make sure.
Doing big things.
Yeah, I'll make sure to put a link in the description of this video so people can go check that out and make it easy for them. That's cool on TJ too, man.
Awesome.
Take the time to go to tour that. That was, I mean, is that what you guys were talking about last time you were here? You had just like got a building?
Yeah, that was last October.
Right.
Yes, yep, right around there. Yep.
So is it completely, did you guys renovate it or anything, or?
So we expanded. So we went from 5,300 square feet to 33,000. And then from there, kept the existing building.
You say that so casually.
Literally, the 27,000 that was added on. You saw the color of the rendering that's on there, and the rendering looks almost identical to what the finished product actually looked like. So we ended up doing that. So we've been in our existing building for 17 years. And the original goal was just kind of acquire the next parcel. But our vision wasn't our vision. God had a bigger vision than for us. And ultimately, we were able to acquire 2 more parcels. Wow. And from there, that allowed us to now grow it out. And then from there, to be able to expand it and, actually have a family practice. UPMC is in the building as well. Wow. So to have that in our lower level and our wellness wing is really cool, because now we're able to now bring everybody in, and you actually are able to develop a relationship with the PCP. So we were able to put 22 kids in school to start on time because they were able to in-house their shot records. where before they were going to urgent care, Med Express,
man.
and those type of things, and it took them a while to get their medical records, and now to be able to house everything inside, that was pretty cool. And now we're able to continue to build off of that. So we're looking forward to what the future holds.
Do you
Good man,
you guys are solving problems that I wouldn't even have considered would stop somebody from starting an education.
Yeah.
That is wild, man. And praise God that those opportunities open up and that you guys are the ones he gave that vision to. Because you guys are crushing it. You guys are doing phenomenal stuff. You're impacting people, man. And I feel like it's every other day I'm seeing some article of something that you guys are doing throughout Pittsburgh. I was like, my man.
No, it's pretty cool. It really is. It's humbling and grateful at the same time.
Yeah.
Even over the summertime, we had 155 kids that were a part of our summer day camp. We went from 7 weeks, 4 days a week. Trust me, it tests your patience.
Yes.
Are you there every day?
Every day.
Going up top. Ooh.
So there every day, and there was always we always have something educational piece off of it. Well, it was programming, then it was free time, programming, free time. So we always made sure, and then of course we were able to take a lot of field trips during the course of the summer.
Yeah.
So these kids, they loved it. And of course, the first week they're a little nervous. No, I'm not really sure. Then they start, developing friendships and getting to that pattern. And man, they wanted to go. And we took a trip to Moraine State Park. Man. So they're like, hey, what do you think? What they do? Do you think they'll get on surfboards? I'm like, I don't know, because they never done it. It's not like they went down to Monongahela and jumped on the daggone river. I don't have an answer for you, but let's go up to the lake and let's see what these kids are going to do. That's and cool. They taught them, all the outdoor things that they were doing there, but then they tied it into being on the actual lake.
Yeah. And
they went out there, and these kids, they were standing up, they were on their knees, they're kind of going back and forth, and it was really cool.
On like paddle boards.
On the paddle boards. And to see that, and then before you know it, so they did the GoPros, so they filming themselves. So once they had enough video, then all of a sudden they're like back paddle, they're jumping, backflips off the daggone paddle board.
They're pros now. They're pros now, though, Charlie. They
and I was just like, there we have it.
There we go.
There you have it right there. And for them to be able to tell that story as they went through it, going from nervousness to now confident to be a part of it, because we did have some kids that never, was that close to the water and that essentially. And to be able to do it and that confidence that they gained throughout, man, it was pretty cool to see.
Are you still doing the basketball league?
We tapered it down, so we're not as large as what we once were, because a lot of the kids that were playing prior to the pandemic didn't have the opportunity to play. Where some of those AAU players, they were playing on AAU teams, so they weren't as confident. So we had to develop that confidence back.
Gotcha.
So we ended up doing more of a skills camp and then taking it to a watered down version of the basketball league that we had. And we started that in 2002.
Remember when I brought a special guest to your basketball league?
You did. You actually did. And I was part of that Versus episode that he was doing. And he's like,
I brought Shaq to
the basketball
to this gym with all these kids.
So we were supposed to be outside,
like,
but it rained that day and it didn't dry off in enough time. So it's like generally we would start at 5:45. So it rained at like 4:30. So the courts weren't dry. So by the time they got over there, it was like sunny. Yeah. But we had to make a decision to start the game. So we ended up going into the gym. So I text Ben, "Is y'all still coming?" He's like, "I think so. We may come over." So I go into referee mode, so I don't even know. And then all of a sudden, you just see the whole gym go, look to the left, and Ben walks in. So like, "Oh my gosh, that's Ben!" And then they're like, "But that's Shaq."
Yes, it was so funny. Hey, shout out Shaq. Thank you for that. That was so much fun. They went nuts, and he was so like who you see on TV is who he is. Like he's a fun-loving, kind, caring, silly, like all that stuff.
He caught it.
He caught that ball. Wow. 1 minute to go in the half. I thought that ball was picked, and he caught it. Like just gracious with all the kids. Like they might be like, "Give me a pic, like can I have a picture, have an autograph?" And he would just say no in the nicest of ways. Like, "Hey, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna just kind of hang out, whatever." And it was just so, I don't know. He just was awesome. So shout out Shaq. Thanks for doing that and being just awesome.
And I tell you what was cool about that. What was funny about that moment. Obviously, you all were got involved in the games and were watching the games. So then people who don't normally reach out because they know you don't have to worry about the league. So I had police officers, I had administrators. They're all like, Charlie, is everything okay up there? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Why? What are we doing? Oh, no. We just wanted to make sure it was okay. Word was now through the neighborhood that Ben and Shaq is there. Now all of a sudden,
you need volunteers.
It was like that. I'm like, where were y'all at the last 5 or 6 weeks? The gym is packed. All of a sudden, the gym becomes packed. There's a touchdown there, Kansas City.
You do touchdown.
So the gym is packed, and then you have everybody kind of just standing there, and they're trying to take pictures with behind them too, as if like they're security guards, you know. Yeah, that's so you see all these pictures kind of populating online. I'm like, really? This is you didn't show up any other time, but the day you showed up.
Now you want to be here.
But that was cool. I appreciate you.
No, that was fun.
Bringing him out.
That was fun. I mean, I don't maybe think of that, but all right, so I'll get you some queso. I know you've been waiting for that. I'm asking you questions.
Want to crack one?
Yeah, let's do another one. Sorry, fans. I know you don't like when we eat, but I'm hungry. I haven't eaten. Did I tell you about my night, by the way?
No, dude. I haven't seen you since church. I saw you on Sunday at church.
So we had football practice tonight. That was my
Oh yeah, that's right.
Coaching hat.
I don't want to spoil your story
coaching hat.
because you came in. I was down here Sunday, and you came in a fashion I'd never seen you walk into your house before.
Yeah, came in. Rained a little bit at practice today.
A little bit.
And by when I say a little bit, I mean I was.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness, it's not even stopping. I mean, it's not even.
What?
Like I don't even know what. I need a towel. Like paper towels aren't going to do it.
I'm gonna have to buy you a new chair.
Holy cow!
You saw that wasn't me though, bro. That just.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
This is.
I don't even know what to get.
All I saw was you shake the can.
Take this jersey. Take this jersey off the wall.
Oh, dude, it went on my phone.
I can't believe you shook the can.
Well, the phone's waterproof. You're fine. It's not beer-proof.
That's unbelievable.
I mean,
Jeez,
you know
dude, I had such a good run.
It's been a while.
I had such a good run.
It's been a while. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, continue with your story.
That was unbelievable, the amount of beer that came out of there.
That is, this might be empty. This might be empty after that. Why was that so? Did we drop that?
No, we did not.
Did you drop that?
We did
There ain't
not.
no we.
He's standing all the way over there.
Chuck, we did not drop that.
Nobody.
Yeah, well, we're back.
Yeah.
Good old football.
Football and live. Live around the world.
Yeah, well, speaking of live, this was sent in.
You know they're going to, they never say anything bad about you on the show or commenters. Yeah. They're going to really let you have it now.
Yeah, I've gotten more heat for less on this show.
Yeah.
Spence, before you ask the next question, I want to touch on Ben coaching.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
People heard the news, right? But what are you actually doing?
Nothing.
Can you explain? Like, what are you doing? Are you the offensive coordinator or something? What are you doing?
Do you see what he's doing right now?
No.
That's basically just doing that.
I'm the fourth assistant.
Okay.
I help out however needed. Today I helped him line up kickoff.
Okay.
Kickoff return.
Did you tell him how you actually were a heck of a punter? Did you throw that in there or no?
No, I don't want to brag.
Okay.
All the time.
I mean, you have a heck of an average. I just wanted to let people know that.
I was inside the 10 a lot.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a Ranger.
No doubt.
Well, I was out there tonight, Chuck.
Okay.
Funny you should ask. It rained so hard, I got home and had to wring my underwear out. Chuck, I'm telling you, I promise you, you think I'm lying. It was so, it rained so hard on us. So what happened was, here's exactly what happened. We got there, we kind of heard some thunder, checked the phone, lightning's within, 10 miles. So I'm like, let's take shelter. And it wasn't really raining, but just like it's getting dark. Like, let's go get under the shelter. So we went under the school and we're waiting. And we see the rain, like you know how you see the mountain, I call them mountains. You see like the hills of like moon and stuff, and you see it like it disappears, right? Because it's gray. Now you're like, the rain's coming. You remember Latrobe when we see the rain coming, the mountains disappear. So we're like, here it comes. So we stay under, and it's raining for like 20 minutes. And it's raining hard, but we're all dry, we're fine. And then the lightning kind of goes by, we're good. We're like, let's get out. Like, we've got like an hour left to practice. Let's get out there. Mm-hmm. And so we go out there. Lightning's gone. Next thing you know, it was one of those ones where you see it coming, and it's just like it's coming, and you're like,
nothing you can do.
What are we going to do?
Right.
Like, at what point, as a coach, I can't be like, hey, as the fourth assistant, I can't be like, hey guys, it's about to rain. Should we go take cover? Because that's a bad look.
You were trying to give the first assistant the look like.
Oh, I did. I gave some looks. I gave some looks. I was giving looks. I was like, ooh, look at my watch. Ooh. You know what else? And I'm in the t-shirt and shorts. And it starts and it's the big drops. And it's that stuff where you can't, I mean, it's raining so hard, Charlie, you understand, like you can't see type rain. And it's just like, instantly you're just soaked. And then it's getting cold a little bit. You know, it's like hitting your body. You're like, it's cold. I'm trying to keep it off me and stuff. And so,
what would that sound you made?
and so it just doesn't stop. And it rained like crazy hard for 30 minutes. I mean, crazy hard. And then you're just kind of like, what are we supposed to do now?
You're already wet.
You're already so. I mean, socks. You know, you're walking. I had my hat on, and water's just going like this, just running off of my hat. And I just was thinking to myself, like, this is exactly as a player when I used to look at coaches and be like, they are miserable. As a player, you're not miserable because you're out there playing. And I'm like, those guys are so miserable. And I'm sitting there like, I'm so miserable. I hated every minute of it. I was so mad. And then what happens when you get in your car? You had the air conditioning on.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
And you're just, you're freezing. Oh, it was. So anyway, I came home.
I love how much Charlie's enjoying this.
I came home just soaked, cold. Like I was so mad.
Did you have an extra towel in your
No,
pocket?
I had nothing.
No, extra towel in your pocket for the QB.
No, we didn't. Oh, we didn't do any offense after that. We couldn't. You can't do anything. Train out the kids. You know what? Every time we looked, kids were running and sliding on the turf. We were trying to practice some kickoff and kickoff return, and we turn around and look, kids we sliding, just sliding. Like, what are we doing? So the coach was like, we should get a couple. Like today's a defensive day, and I'm like, I'll be honest with you, like we won't be able to do anything on offense.
Right.
Like we can't take a snap, we can't throw it, we can't run the ball. I said, you know what we should do? Let's run some relay races.
Okay.
And let's get some conditioning in and have some relay races or do something. So we're relay racing, conditioning. It was so stupid.
My way ended with a slide. Hey guys, when you finish, slide into the finish line.
Anyway.
Yeah, you came downstairs. And I didn't realize you were soaked. I didn't realize the shirt you were wearing started a different color.
Oh yeah,
because
the black shirt I had on started light gray.
Yes. It was wild. Well, this beer should cheer you up.
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah.
What do we have here?
This is from deBine Brewing Company out of Palm Harbor, Florida. This brewery is actually a block away from my house where I grew up.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as I moved out of Palm Harbor, they put this brewery in. It was and made the town way cooler after I left. But it's called I'll Have That IPA. It's an American style IPA. It's sent in from Chuck McCann, who actually went to the live show we did at Cinderlands.
No way.
He was there at the and so I talked to him and I told him about this brewery and he went and got it and sent it in.
Oh.
Yeah. So
appreciate you. I like the smell of it already.
Yeah.
So is there a fruit attached to this? Like the grapefruit on the last one?
Yeah. No. It's 7.4 percent, and that's all.
It's American IPA.
It's American IPA.
You
can tell by the
if you can't tell, the queso's good.
It is solid.
That I'm eating.
Yes, it is solid.
I'm so hungry.
It is solid.
And then at your leisure, there's a nice little note there for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave that there.
I'll put this right here.
Yeah, get that out of the way because I might spill on it.
Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah. American IPA.
Yes.
It smells delicious.
Oh, no, not me. No disrespect. That's just not me.
he said immediately.
It has to be. Yeah, it has to be. Like the first one had the grapefruit-ish tape to it. I was okay.
This is not
this
it.
One, yeah, that's not it.
This
that's not it. But this is like I'm like. But I think this is kind of not this. Now again, I know this, but it's like almost like when you're introduced to beer the first time, and like it's that turn off. Yeah, and that's why I really never became a big beer drinker because I never found one that I thought
I can respect that. Yep.
So, okay, that's funny you said that because when I took my first drink, I was like, oh, like now I got to start over because that was funny. Chuck. What did he say? No, this is not it. I don't know. It's
It might taste different if I didn't spill it all over my pants.
Hey, by the way, Before we get back into this, Chuck, you'll appreciate this. Is funny too. Last play of the game, Detroit of the half. Detroit has the ball. The old Hail Mary, right? Mm-hmm. The end of the half. What do you do when you're a quarterback at the end of the half and you're a veteran and they want you to throw the Hail Mary?
If it's probably 60 yards down the field, just throw it and get the yards. Get the cheap yards. Get a cheap 40 right there.
Get the
it's
big
hilarious.
Yards, right?
So right when I finish
get the big yards, right?
So when I finish and I'm now, and I get to the media side, I'm up there watching, and they would get to the Hail Mary. And I literally would throw a bet. I said, I guarantee you $100, Ben don't throw this thing to the end zone.
No, you know what you do?
And people would be like, bet. I bet he's going to throw it. There's no way.
End of the
40.
End of the game, end of half. Listen, there's nothing worse than the end of the half throwing an interception.
Right.
You know what you do? If you don't have a chance like that, there was no chance for Detroit. He did. He threw it out of bounds.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Halftime is different. End of the game, that's one thing. Yeah, halftime, get your yardage and get out of here.
He threw it out of bounds.
That's it. People look at, how'd you know that? I said, I only sat next to this dude for 9 years.
throw that ball right out of bounds.
I know that. I'm telling you.
Right out of bounds.
There's no way he's giving up. He's allowing to have a cheap interception to happen. Right? I promise you that. He's not going to do it.
Okay.
So you went back to it to see.
Because I had to talk about it. It tastes very strong. I know it's only 7. It tastes like
7.4.
If you would have told me to guess, I would have said 10.
Really?
I feel like it tastes very strong. Okay. The first one I didn't like at all. I was almost like Chuck.
Really?
Almost. Not that. Well, not that. Not that bad. It's got a very strong like.
Yeah, it reminds. There's another beer it reminds me of, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I feel like I've tasted that before.
I probably if I ordered that, I'd struggle to get one down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
Hey,
I mean, it is what it is.
It's not
unique, but it's not my thing.
It is not my favorite.
Uh-oh. No, that was it. I think that was a chip. That wasn't just the beer. That was just the wrong. That was just bad timing. Sorry.
That was perfect timing. That's why it was funny. We're really crushing it tonight. This podcast, guys.
This podcast is unbelievable.
Yeah, this is.
Oh man,
this has not dried up, by the way.
Still that wet. I mean, better than he spilled.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. I'll give this maybe a 4.5.
You want me to get you some queso?
No, is there any left?
Is this queso made from scratch?
Yeah.
I
made it earlier.
It's in the book.
Yeah, it might be in the book. What book are you talking about?
Oh, this book right here? This is the official 2023-2024 Footballin Cookbook.
You should try it.
It has all your favorite recipes for all your tailgating needs.
Yes.
Game day.
If you took that to the stadium,
yeah,
and opened that thing up or set it on your little tailgate, people would be like, "What is that?
Should we do that? Should we wear disguises? You and me wear disguises. We'll go tailgate in our disguises.
I'm with it.
And
with Evan.
Awesome.
People like we'd have to. Like,
do you think you can? Do you think you go into disguise for a tailgate at the stadium?
Absolutely.
You think you
There's
can?
no way he's getting away with it.
I don't think you can.
Dude, 6'5". Are you kidding me?
There's no way.
There are people with his face tattooed on their body. There's no way he's walking through.
No, I could. Because I would go with like one of those like little scooters or something.
That's the easiest way to stand out, man. You roll up in a scooter.
No, like the little one-legged thing where the legs bent.
Oh, like what Dane had? The Dane?
Yeah.
What would your disguise be, though? Because you got to disguise the face.
He would have to, day of event, shave. Because right now, people are looking forward to this look.
Well, we have 70,000 million viewers watching this right now.
Right. So they're all looking for this particular beard look. You would have to go clean shave and then figure out what you're going to do. I mean, you would have to literally probably...
I don't know.
I'm thinking you do long hair, get a wig.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You would have to.
Long jet black hair.
Headband.
Keep that intact. And then just do stash. Hit him with the Magnum PI.
Fu Man?
Yep.
Pretty nice.
So I think that challenge can be within the next month.
Yeah.
When we get to October, be on the lookout for Ben. That's what we're going to do.
Where's Waldo?
Exactly. Where's Ben in the tailgate?
Don't you think I have a better chance, like in the wintertime when it's cold and you're bundled up, like hoodie?
I can see you get away with that. Wintertime.
Or like you go pandemic mode, right? You know, you went. Yeah, you were able to kind of sneak when the pandemic was.
The mask helps.
You can go that route.
Joe Burrow got $275 million. Crazy.
Today?
Yeah.
November, December, I can see you kind of getting away with the disguise, but
yeah.
October, I want to see you pull that one off.
Well,
I mean,
it's like we were talking about. I've never been to Kennywood. I feel sad about that.
We're gonna get you to Kennywood one day, right in my
backyard. You gonna rent it out for me?
Yeah, we'll go. We're gonna make sure we walk through.
You heard that? You heard that too?
What a good friend.
You gonna shut the whole thing down?
I'm telling you, we're gonna get it going.
Good guy.
No, you got to go in the heat. You got to stand in lines. You love lines.
Love lines.
You love waiting in lines. You got to get the whole experience. What's like the ride at Kennywood that people go for?
He likes the teacups.
I like the
that was a slow burn for him.
slow jackrabbit, you know. For me, it's probably the Steel Phantom.
What is it?
That is a one of the largest roller. I think it may be the largest steel roller coaster that they have there.
Really?
They have their I think it was claimed to fame top 10 roller coasters in the country is a Thunderbolt, which is all wood.
See, that scares me. Get a little termite in there or something.
But I haven't been probably in about 4 or 5 years because when Steel Valley, my high school, they have their Kennywood picnic. I try to go out there during that time, but it's rained the last few years that I've so I didn't get a chance.
The other thing too is I grew up going to Cedar Point, and Cedar Point is like the gold standard when it comes to amusement parks.
This is probably a third of Cedar Point.
Really? I've never.
You know where I went? Like a couple weeks ago. What's the place up in Erie called? Wyndham. Not what keeps saying Windermere. It's definitely not Windermere.
It was an amusement park or like
the little amusement park they have up there in Erie.
Oh, it's got them like water slides and stuff in it? Yeah. Oh, no.
I know Splash Lagoon is up there somewhere, but I don't know.
Anyway, went up there, a bunch of...
Like, it's like down the street from Presque Isle?
Did you get
from what?
Presque Isle?
I don't know
A little beach area?
Did you get recognized up there?
Yes.
As soon as you walked in?
We got there really early. And put my glasses on because it was sunny.
You thought that was going to save you?
Sunglasses helped a little, man. No, it wasn't horrible.
He's up there looking. These guys are looking me in the eyes. I mean, how can they see my eyes? Thought this was supposed to be a disguise.
Hey, I just forgot. By the way, I definitely don't mean to change the subject. You guys keep ripping on me. I forgot Christian McCaffrey's with the Niners.
Yeah.
I don't know why I forgot that until I just saw on like the commercial. I'm like, oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, they got him last year. They traded.
That's right. Yeah. I know. I just forgot. I don't know why I forgot about that, but I'm trying to think like in my head. Okay, Steelers, Niners. Like, okay, they got a good defense. Bosa's there. The Niners offense.
George Kittle.
Yeah, Purdy though. You just don't know. Right, coming off injury, you just don't know what you're going to get. I think the defense gets after him. Is Deebo Samuel still there too?
He's still there. Yeah.
Boy, they got a lot. But then I forgot I saw Christian McCaffrey on that commercial. I'm like, oh boy, like he's
special. If he's healthy, he is special.
I assume. I mean, he's got to be healthy, right? First game of the year. Like that's a great challenge for that because I always think like, okay, the Steelers defense they're really good, and then I'm like, and nothing they can. I mean, that'd be a great test for him, but I was not thinking about McCaffrey either. That's a different ballgame. No, they can't do anything, but he's really good. I don't know.
I'm excited to see it, man.
It'll be good. Do you have to do anything for the game?
I'll do pregame show with Bob.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. They actually, underneath the Great Hall, they actually built out a studio. So before we used to be on the field with just a couple chairs and a makeshift kind of set, but now underneath the Great Hall, they actually have a full set. Yeah, it is. It actually is.
That's cool.
So they rolled that out last year. And then we'll do the pregame show from 11:30 to 12, and then from there I'll go on field for pregame, and then go get ready to watch the game and jump on postgame afterward.
Postgame is radio.
Postgame is radio.
Gotcha.
So this will be a first year without Stan Savrin.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Lost him over the summer.
That's right.
And Rob King will be taking over for him. So it'll be a different show. Because everybody got familiar with listening to Stan.
Of course, for a long time.
Absolutely. He was one of the best for sure.
Yeah. Rob's it's hard to fill in for that guy. Rob's really good.
And he would probably, Stan was probably the #1 alumni from Miami of Ohio.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Not many people come out of there.
I know. That was one of the very first things he ever told me, too. And you know us Miami guys. That's right. Mighty Mac. Yeah. No, Stan was awesome.
Yes, he
I totally
was.
forgot about that, too.
He will definitely be missed this year for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely will.
Well, that's cool.
But that's essentially game day. That would be this year. So
Yeah.
Pre and post, and then if it's a Monday night game, Thursday night, the pregame show is always on Sunday at 11:30.
Oh, okay.
So it would always air during that time, and then from there I'll jump on post game.
What I'm sure you'll talk about it, but what are going to be? Have you thought about like what's the keys? Give me the 2 keys to the game for you: offense, defense, anything. What's a key?
I'm anxious to see how they do with Bosa. I mean, I want to see from a protection standpoint.
Yep.
Are they going to single him up, or are they going to give him a little body influence out there on the double team?
I think it'd be negligent not to do something.
That's going to be one, and it's going to be interesting to see how Terrell Austin. Terrell Austin?
Coach Austin?
Yeah. So he'll be. I'm used to calling him Coach Austin. I'm like, is it Terrell? Yeah. But I'm curious to see how he plays Brock Purdy in his second year. To see how he mixes it up. But the key is going to be getting him off schedule.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how was he coming back from an elbow or shoulder or something?
Elbow. He did it at an NFC Championship game.
Right. That's a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Being young obviously helps, but yeah, because he kind of burst on the scene late too, right? Didn't he come on late? He wasn't there all year, was he?
Because there was injury, and then he finished up the last second half of the year.
It's still like, what you don't really know what he's got,
Right.
So that'll be interesting. That's why I think the defense is going to be.
It's enough for them to trade Trey Lance in the manner that they did.
That?
I'm just like, wow.
How does I mean, be careful how we say this? How does John Lynch, who obviously Hall of Famer, respect the heck out of him, how do you do all the things you did to get that guy? 3 firsts, I think, and a second at least. Sounds you traded him for like a 4th. How do you keep your job? Right. I mean, that is. Brock Purdy's why you keep your job.
Exactly.
You Brock Purdy, but holy smokes, you gave up the farm for that guy, and then just got back like a chicken.
Right. And if Brock pans out, great for him because that means you don't have to pay him for another 3 years. Maybe probably 2 to have to give him a deal after that. But if you hit, you build around the team. If you look at kind of their roster and all these signings that they had, including Bosa, they have some salary cap issues that they're going to have to face in the next couple of years. At the moment they have to pay Brock, you're going to have to get rid of some people. So they're going all in at this particular point. This is going to be the year that they feel like they can win the Super Bowl.
Well, we'll see. Coming here. Coming here.
Going to be a great test for them for sure. First home game, season opener in a long time.
I know.
Long time.
I know. Thanks again, Roger.
Well, that's what happens whenever they decide to get Ben out of here.
Get Ben out.
Just give him a home game now. You got to make it tougher for him.
Oh, Ben's gone? What do they need? What do they need?
Right.
What can we get?
Give him 9 straight season openers on the road. We're tired of him on national TV.
Yeah. Well, the second half's about to get underway.
Do you think this game would there'd be a bigger gap in this score?
No, I did not without Kelsey.
Yeah,
I think Kelsey's that. I think he's that big of a deal for Pat. I mean, and I say that for Patrick. Patrick's obviously unbelievable, but he's a huge deal for him.
Yeah,
and it just looked like a couple times that
he was looking for him.
Yeah, that maybe Patrick was a little uncomfortable in some situations where he's usually like, okay, like you have that clock go off in your head,
right?
And he's like, "Where's my guy?" And he's like, "Oh, my guy's not where I'm used to my guy being." So, but we'll see. Everyone's gonna make adjustments, and we'll see. This first drive will be big for the Chiefs. To see what they can do. They just drove down at the end of the half and scored, which was big.
That's it. I mean, the Lions were driving and they fumbled, and you can't do it.
Should be 14-7 or 14-10, right? His nose gets so red at the end of the year. He seems like he's got a lot of passion.
I love that he's in Detroit.
Yeah.
They have the city buzzing up there. I was there.
Like
really?
I was there last weekend. I went to Eastern Michigan. You know, of course,
Why are you going to? What was it? What's the Eastern? They still have a team?
Yeah, they still do. We're 1-0 actually.
Who'd you guys play?
We ended up playing Howard, but we got the win. That's all that matters. If it was a loss, there'd be a different conversation that you would be giving me right now.
What was the score? 7-0.
But I mean, you know, it turned out to be, a little closer at the end, but we ended up winning. That's all that matters. 1-0. We're going up to Minnesota this week.
Oh, really?
Pull off another shocker. See if we can go 3-4 years in a row with knocking off a Big Ten team.
It was nice of you. Don't you guys have the gray field?
Yes.
That was nice of you to donate that money for that.
Hey, you know, you got to be unique. You know, even though I didn't donate the money, but you got to be unique. You got to be different.
The gray
and
field.
They had to set themselves out. They had to set themselves, apart because back when I actually was getting to Eastern Michigan, they were called Eastern Michigan Hurons.
Really?
And it was the only nickname in the country that was the Hurons. And the Indian tribe
What's a Huron?
That's the Indian tribe. And the stakeholders within the Indian tribe, they were in favor of it. But then there were people with peer pressure put on them that they need to change the nickname. And then from there, when I got there, I was recruited under the Hurons, but then by the time I got there, they were Eagles. So we lost a lot of alumni during that time.
Eagles. Yeah,
Lost a lot of alumni. And now they're kind of bringing them back slowly.
Really?
But I say all that to say that's why we had to separate ourselves with the gray field. So when people look at that, they say, okay, that's Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, they definitely know.
Right.
It's hard to see the players and stuff when you guys wear your gray jerseys.
And actually, Chris
blend
Creighton,
in.
head coach Chris Creighton, has a rocking and rolling, man.
Really?
Been to multiple bowl games. They actually won the Potato Bowl last year.
At Boise?
At Boise,
Idaho?
yes, at Boise.
So you went from a gray field to a blue field.
That was it. Should have won their first bowl game a few years ago, but there was some dude on the other side playing for Pitt named Kenny Pickett that threw a touchdown pass at the end of the game to win. So I told him right there, I still
Kenny.
Still upset with you at that. He says, I'm not.
When I don't know what made you just think of that when you talk about Kenny. Didn't Kenny was it in a bowl game where he did like the fake slide thing?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago, maybe.
How do you do that? That's pretty
The moment it happened, I'm sitting there watching, and I said, I said, that right there puts a defensive player at a disadvantage.
Oh, for sure.
As soon as he starts going down,
he couldn't have intentionally did that, could he? How do you? I mean,
if he did, that was great. That was great that he did it. But at the moment it happened, I said they got to change it. I said because if the DB hits him,
oh, for sure,
15-yarder. But could have been kicked out the game depending on the way the college rules are now.
Sneaky guy, you.
And sure enough, the next week, I think maybe the next day they changed that rule. Like it didn't even go into the next year. They changed that immediately.
Yeah,
which was fair for the defense. You have to.
You have to.
The moment you give yourself up, I'm not going to hit you.
That's a good stand by the defense.
See if Detroit can go down and score.
See them do these fights? The problem was, not the problem, but what makes it funny is that it looked like such a gentle altercation. Looked like they was playing patty cake.
Oh, Spence, let's hit that last beer.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, what do we got here? What we got coming up?
Do you want to open it?
This is bedtime. No, I'd like to see you try again.
Yeah, don't shake the can this time.
You only got so much real estate down here for me to
Move this over for you so you have more room.
think this.
I need to get this recipe for this dip, though. I can tell you that. Dip is good.
I can't wait till the commenters talk about that's all I do for me. Oh, Ben doesn't stop eating. They're going to hit you with it.
I'm right there.
They need to know.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, before I forget, the kids and I made applesauce today. So
did you?
I got 2 things up there for you to take home for
Did you the cinnamon
family.
in it?
You know I put
Listen, brother. I know.
You made it?
Yeah. I made it today.
I had tested.
You broke down the apples?
Huh? We went and picked the apples. We peeled them all and cored them, cut them, put them in, boiled them, so smushed it all up. Yeah. Me and the kids. We had a not a conveyor belt. We had a
assembly line
today.
Okay.
Bodie was peeling it first, and I was just like I would take the apple off, take off the little core thing, cutter, check it, give it to Benjamin. Benjamin would cut it in half. He'd give it to Bailey. Bailey put it in the pot and then pour the water in. When it got to so many apples,
systematic.
we did like like probably 60 some apples today. Okay. 2 big pots. We made we put them in little quart jars. We made probably a dozen quarts.
You used all the apples?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you may use some for apple pie or something that you might.
No,
make.
we have. So at our farm where Dad lives, we literally we did. I picked one whole tree. Not a whole tree, but like probably a tree and a half, and got like a whole bushel, like a basket. Had 60, 70 apples in it, and that's like two trees of 30. We've got more apples than we know what to do with. So So what we'll do is we go pick them. They just became ripe like last week, like really good.
Okay.
So we'll go pick them. We'll make a bunch of applesauce because you can freeze applesauce for about a year. So we'll make a bunch of applesauce. We'll make we'll dehydrate it, make apple chips.
Mm-hmm. Those are real good.
Yeah, we'll cut them in half. So you take if you have a whole apple, right? You core it, you cut it in half, and then we'll take them and put like a little cinnamon and sugar on them, and then put them in a big bag and shake them up, and then you put them on like a pan, like in a dehydrator, like just trays of them in a dehydrator, and it dehydrates them and turns them like little apple chips.
Okay.
And so you just like little snacks, you just can munch on them. They're really good. And then we'll make apple cider, and then apple pies and dumpling crisp and all that stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, that's like we love to do that. We have people come and pick apples. I mean, we've got tens of thousands of apples there. It's awesome. So you ever want to come pick apples?
Absolutely. No, I'm seriously.
We got a bunch of them.
It kind of reminds me of
we picked one it was like the size. It's bigger than a softball. Like there was one on top of this little tree that we put in last year. It was like pulling the tree over. It looks like the Grinch, or like the middle of the tree from the Grinch. It was like hanging like this, and you pull the apple off and whoop.
You say it's like the size of a grapefruit?
It's huge. It's like the grapefruit.
Yeah.
Like that one that Chuck's.
It kind of reminds me of how we do the sweet corn when it gets out of season. And then we'll chuck the corn, and then from there we'll freeze it, and Tasha will make it and have it for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
And then people will be like, "How the heck did you have? It's out of season." But people not realizing that you freeze it, and get to the point so you can have it.
With that, so I'll give you. Do you eat applesauce?
I do.
So I mean, I just tell you.
No, I'll take some home because I know you have quite a bit.
We do
before you freeze it.
Oh, that smells good. Yeah.
What do we have here?
So this is a New England IPA.
That smells delightful.
It is from New Orthodox, and it is called M43. So this is sent in by Chris Kiefer, Ben, and with an organization called Be Alive.
Oh yeah, we did them.
Did we do this one?
I don't know if we did this beer, but they're the ones that sent the
oh yeah, right? That's right. Yeah,
we did something from that. We may have done this beer.
Yeah, well, if we have,
hope we like it again.
Yeah, we'll see if we like. Yeah, it says "Be Alive" is all about moments that matter.
We're still learning.
They thank you, Ben, for providing so many moments over the years. Cheers, enjoy the M43. Go Steelers! And it says, let's hunt together someday.
Okay, you're not gonna like it, but it's not as bad as the last one.
No, yeah, definitely not. I don't like it. But again, no disrespect. I'm trying to get to the point where I'm liking a little bit of beer, and I haven't found anything.
I will say,
that's not a way to go.
Yeah, the two that you've had so far are not beers that you want to start with.
Correct.
Like the two that you like they're on the
fruity side.
Well, no, these two last ones.
No, they're not the last. Yeah, not the last
first
two.
One.
The first one, yes, on the fruity side.
Yeah, but these two are like they're on the heavy end of the spectrum, even for people who drink beer.
Okay.
So the fact that you're even tasting that in the midst of enjoying wine is good for you, brother.
See, that's 6.8, which is crazy.
Yeah,
but it's not like that. To me, it doesn't even taste close.
Oh, that's nice.
I like that.
That's kind of fruity. What is that on the back end? Pineapple?
Citrus.
Oh, tight. Nailed it.
Just citra hops. Chase the citra hops.
That's really good.
EFL.
How would you rate that? Out of 10.
I like it a lot. 7.5.
Oh.
I could drink. I could. Yeah. That's when I would order.
Yeah.
And I mean, it'd be hard to drink a lot of them because it's so. It's got a good body. I like it.
I said this was from New Orthodox. It says Old Nation on the Brewing Company. I don't know. There's too many. Too
much going on.
Too much going on with the label. I don't know who makes it.
And you got to roll it. You have to roll it for the sediment.
Brother, I'm not rolling anything. I'm not rolling. I'm not shaking. We're not doing any of this. All right.
It's a family program.
Yeah. So, how would you rate that out of 10, Charlie? 2.
A 2.
A 2. A solid 2.
Was it better or worse than the last one you did?
Better.
Okay.
Yeah,
Better.
I knew.
So the last one was a 0.
1.
Okay. We're on the board.
There's a chance.
That's it. Give it a 1.
Oh my goodness, Charlie. I'm so thankful you came on
That's
the show.
it. I mean, hey.
We had to do it. I was like, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're wrapping this thing up.
In
this
20, almost,
year.
it's been 19 years since I've known you. And you can probably say in 19 years, you've never seen me drink a beer. No, you haven't. I have not drank a beer.
No, I don't think so.
I haven't.
You look like you were really trying to find
I was really trying to find something where Chuck. What that one time? Nope. No, I can't.
No,
You still have it. Those are sips, but still.
Not like that.
I know. No, I would appreciate. That's why I got you. See, that's why I took care of you today.
And I appreciate you.
Got you a
I'm
little
trying.
wine.
I'm doing something different.
Got you a little wine. And
I was able. Last time I was on the show, you wouldn't even crack a bottle of wine open for me.
and now I did.
And now you did. So I appreciate you.
I know. This one was a little more laid back.
I'm wearing down on you. That's it.
We're learning. The first one, I felt like
I just think
I was
maybe.
like, no, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do interview.
Yeah,
Well, I think maybe you're just feeling bad because you were out there standing in the rain all day. So you were warming up. You want to know what? I'll go ahead and crack open a bottle of wine.
Chuck, it was so wet. There was so much rain. It was raining so hard. And every time you turn around, the kid was sliding on the rain in the grass. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
So he would. I laughed because I said, "Did you give him an extra towel?" I asked that question specifically because that was Ben's way of letting me know he needed extra towels in the rain. So I would have to sit there and keep the towels dry, and he would come over to Chuck, give me your towel, and I'm looking at him like, get your own daggone towel. You know? So I learned like, okay, he's going to take this one eventually, and then I come back, try to keep the next ones dry.
Chuck used to have towels in the pocket for me.
That was
Chuck
it.
My guy. Chuck was the best.
He just gave me that look.
You ready?
Yeah, here you go, right here. You're looking for this. Oh yeah, thanks, appreciate
man.
you.
See you on the towel.
That's because I knew Chuck had like 3 rain jackets on, long sleeve under there, hand warmers. He had everything he needed.
We changed the way the sidelines are right now, and I say that because before I got here, quarterbacks didn't wear sweatsuits.
Yeah.
And you would just literally, if you weren't playing, you were just whatever the temperature was, you're just standing out there in your pants.
Yep.
Then I started putting on the long johns, then the pants over top of it. Then it got to the point where now you started to see everybody else do it. And then it was kind of like that unwritten rule. I said, Ben, if anything ever happened, you got to give me a moment to take off these daggone sweatpants. You have to take it.
You didn't get the snaps?
No, because you have to take it the TV time out.
Yeah.
That's the goal. I don't care what you do. Take it the TV time out.
Stay down.
Right. Stay down. Don't run off the field. You stay down, TV timeout. I'm able to take off the layers, and then you get it going. Interception, gone. That's a touchdown right there.
Touchdown. Pick 6. That's one. All right, so we're talking pick 6, Detroit. I want to see it again because it hit the receiver, but it looked like it was behind him.
Right.
I want to see. I'm never going to point fingers, but there's nothing worse as a quarterback when you throw a ball that's like a good ball. And it gets pick 6.
As soon as it gets up in the air, you're like, get down, no.
Yeah, hit the ground. Let's see what I have to show on the replay right now. Crossing.
Oh,
that's just a drop.
That
was a good throw.
Just a drop.
That's everything good. That's the worst of the quarterback because your stat line tomorrow says interception.
Yep.
You're like, wait, I didn't mean it. Not that anybody looks at their stats or cares.
Jeez,
It's turnover. That's all you care about as a quarterback. That's all I care about as a quarterback. Turnovers. Because that's
I did not see this game going this way.
right through them. Oh man.
That's
Get
it.
down,
They would
drop
make up
it,
for that
drop
turnover.
it, drop it. Well, I was going to say something too, and I don't remember what it was now. Chuck, we're going to give you definitely one of these to take home.
Yes.
We know you don't cook, but Tosh will cook whatever.
She is the cook of the house for sure.
Yeah. We'll give you that. And then anybody else that wants to get one, I'm telling you, I'm going to sign 50 of them or so.
50 of them.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Do we have a pen down here so we can? I want people to witness the signatures getting ready to happen.
Yeah, that's Sharpie. I'll get it. Let me get headphones on. The picture.
First copy.
The very first one.
No better person. Dude, that went all down my leg right now. I'm wildly uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable right now, dude.
All right, we're gonna sign. I'm gonna sign the front for you. Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So you're going to sign 50 of them, and we'll figure out a way to get those 50 out to people. But you will be able to pick this cookbook up. By the time that you're watching this, this will be available. There will be a link in the description of this video. Like I said, there's only a couple hundred of these available, and when they're gone, they're gone. So if you want to scoop that up, go ahead and do it. There it is, folks.
Thank you, sir.
The very first one.
There it is.
One of one.
Official. Right there.
The first one.
You see it? Yeah,
hey, you see it.
Get my face in there so you just don't see.
Look,
I don't want them to cut me out. I don't want to see them cut me out. You know, you got to.
That's it right there.
Look at
Appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming on
Not
and
a
doing
problem.
this again.
You know,
I know
that's what I'm talking about.
you do it twice, but
We look like we have an HGTV show.
here's
Look
all
at this. Look at this cover, brother.
that's awesome.
Like we look.
Here's the only thing you have to promise me
What do you got?
is the first time you try one, you got to tell us.
Anyone.
Any one of those.
Okay.
Whenever you try it or do it, you got to say, hey, I tried this one. Whether it was good, bad, whatever. Just
You want me to post it and tag you on it, or how you want me to do it? Just send it to you?
text me.
Okay.
Call me, text me,
All right.
whatever.
All right, deal.
No, you don't
Deal.
need to tag. I don't know what that means. just text me.
Hey, I'm just.
Call me.
I just wanna-
Come over.
I wanna
Knock on my
give
door.
I'm trying to promote the cookbook.
Listen, I don't.
There's only a few.
I know. Those are limited edition.
Absolutely.
And you have one of one.
I have the first one.
Yes,
That's
you
what
do.
I'm talking about.
Yes, you do. One of one.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you, Charlie.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure. We have to do this again. I feel like by this time it's a tradition.
Absolutely.
Right? After the first time, the stories that you guys tell were absolute gold. People were asking for this, and you did not disappoint. I feel like the first 30 minutes of this, you guys talking, is phenomenal. I feel like those are all the questions that I've been wanting to ask, but we haven't had time to hang out. And so it's cool to hear that, also hear your insight, Charlie. We appreciate you. We love what you're doing in the community, but also,
Yes.
I was telling you earlier before we started filming, you and Bob are phenomenal.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I need you guys to. I need a filter to where I can choose what broadcast I want to listen to throughout the season.
I think Bob wanted me to replace Charlie, to be honest.
Take your time. Take your time. You have to do it right away.
No chance.
You know,
No chance,
give me
Chuck.
give
You're
me
so
at least
darn
till
good.
2027 before you get up there in the Hall of Fame.
You're so good. There's
Before
no
you give that
chance. You're the-
speech out there in Canton. I can't wait.
Come on.
I'm looking forward to it. August
fingers
2027, and literally. When that happened, I actually I sent you an email and put a calendar invite.
That's awesome.
August of 2027. If he goes to his phone and goes to August of 2027, he will see an invite saying Charlie attending Ben's
That's amazing.
Hall of Fame.
He did.
Telling you, that was it. And I posted it on social media and I blocked all of it out. I was like, okay, just to let everybody know, I sent this invite of the next time I'm going to Canton is going to be then.
Hey,
Chuck,
in case anyone is
never know.
ever worrying about Charlie, a real one. Charlie, a real one out here.
Listen, if
I'm telling you, I have it in my phone. I can pull my phone out right now
I
and
remember
show you.
if I
It's
listen,
August of
there's-
2027.
There's zero doubt that if I ever get blessed to be in there, that Charlie will be there. If you're not,
I'll be
busy.
right there. I'll be right there.
If you're not busy,
You're gonna be like Chuck,
I'm gonna
come
invite
on.
you.
I mean, check his
You're gonna
calendar.
say, come on, Chuck. Come on. Come on, Chuck.
Chuck, you know what
You looking for it? Look at him.
Telling you.
You know what-
I already
you
know.
know
I
what
put
it
the
is.
invite in there.
you know what it is.
Telling you. Ready to rock and roll.
There's a few guys. Oh,
What we got?
he kind of just. I don't know who that was to.
That's never a good sentence to say.
Well,
I don't know who that one was to.
Well, there's a short guy and a deep guy, and it kind of went between them, so that's why I was saying that. You can just tell, like right there, like he's stepping up, like he knows where his guy usually is, and his guy's not there, and you can just see the lack of chemistry. Like even Juju, he was only for 1 year, but Juju had an awareness of the game of football. He knew how to get open. He knew things, feel of the game, and so I think he's still just getting a feel of it. And it could be first game type stuff, but
That was a hit. Jeez.
So anyway, but yeah, you know you'll be there, Chuck.
Absolutely.
So
you're sitting right
thanks
there.
for coming on, man. I appreciate you.
Man, not a problem. Appreciate
I love sitting around telling stories. This feels like a quarterback meeting room. Whipple.
Telling
you. So you were with me with Whipple, obviously.
Yep.
Who was next? Ken
Anderson.
Ken was next.
Yep.
And then did we go right to? No.
It was Randy.
Randy came after Ken?
Yeah.
No way.
Randy was there.
After Ken?
Yeah.
Randy was with us for that long.
You think there was one more? In between? I don't think there was one more.
I don't think so, but I just feel like that felt like forever ago that Ken was here. Like, was Randy the quarterback coach for that long with us?
Because Ken came in 07. He was here 07, 8, 9. I think he retired after that year. And I think Randy took over in 10.
No.
Or maybe 9 or 10.
So was Ken the quarterback coach when we won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
He was?
Yeah. 08.
Because Randy was the wide receivers.
Correct.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. It just feels like that was so long ago.
I think Randy was off or a receiver coach
not catching it, is he?
7, 8, 9, and then he came over in 10.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we got
That's when he had the veteran group and he was learning on the job.
Randy?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. With me, you, Byron,
You sit there
and Bruce.
Yes.
Hey, we had a year where what year would that have been? 2012, 10, 11, somewhere in there. 2011, 10?
11 and 12, he was there too. So
Okay.
I'm not sure what story you're going with.
I'm just saying, if you think about the four quarterbacks he had in that room, right, was you were the oldest. So your rookie. What year would you have been in 2010? Call it. What year were you in the league?
I think that would have been 13.
Okay, so Chuck's 13 years. 2010, Byron would have been 7, 8.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
He's a year more than me, so
Right.
he was in 03-ish.
Yep.
7. I was 6 or 7. I would have been 2004, so 6. Bruce would have been, 3 or 4 or 5. And then every year after,
When you say Bruce, you're talking about.
Was it Gretkowski with us?
He wasn't in 10. It was
our
Dennis.
Fourth? Dennis Dixon.
He was in 10. Yep.
Dennis
Bruce
Dixon.
came in 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Byron wasn't there then.
Not in 13. Byron was there in 10, though.
Yeah.
10, 11, 12. He was there 8, was in Tampa in 9,
Yeah.
and then back in 10.
Back in 10.
So
okay.
he was there 10, 11, 12.
But the years of experience we had in that room was crazy.
Absolutely.
So anyway, that's all I was just thinking about all the years we had of experience there. So, but anyway, well, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. You're the best.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks for all you do in the community and being such a leader and such a role model to so many kids, man. They look up to you for good reasons. So I appreciate you.
No problem. Appreciate you having me on.
Right on.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys are not already, go ahead and follow Charlie on all his socials. I'll link those down below. And also, you can stay plugged into everything we're doing here. If you follow at Footballin with Ben on Instagram. Like I said, you can grab this cookbook that is out now, along with any football and merch.
You better get a hold of it quick because it's going to go hot.
It's gone. It's gone. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you.